Sophia woke up that morning with a strange feeling in her body. Usually, she jumped out of bed with a smile, ready to play with Clover or visit the garden. But today, her head felt heavy, and her body felt tired. She tried to stand, but her legs felt weak. Sophia sat back down and touched her forehead. It felt warm. She frowned softly because she knew something was not right. Clover hopped onto the bed and looked at her with wide eyes. "Sophia? Why aren't you getting up?" he asked gently. Sophia forced a small smile. "I don't feel very good today, Clover. I feel tired, and my head hurts." Clover placed his tiny hand on her arm and stayed close. He could tell Sophia was not herself. Sophia slowly walked to the window and opened the curtains. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and the castle looked bright and happy outside. But Sophia did not feel happy. She sneezed softly and sat down on a chair. Her throat felt dry, and her body felt hot. She wished it would go away quickly. Soon, Queen Miranda came into the room. She looked at Sophia and knew right away something was wrong. "Sophia, my dear," she said softly, touching her forehead. "You're warm. Are you feeling dizzy?" Sophia nodded slowly. "Yes, Mama. I don't feel strong." Queen Miranda hugged her gently and called for the royal doctor. Amber stood outside the room, worried. She wanted to hug Sophia, but her mother gently stopped her. "For now, we must be careful," the Queen said kindly. Amber looked confused and scared. "Is Sophia going to be okay?" Queen Miranda nodded. "Yes. We just need to understand what is happening." The doctor arrived shortly after, wearing gloves and a mask. Sophia watched him carefully. She had never seen him dressed like that before. It made her nervous. The doctor spoke softly and calmly to Sophia. He checked her temperature, listened to her breathing, and asked how she felt. After a few moments, the doctor turned to the Queen. "Sophia has corona," he said gently. "But do not be afraid. Many children recover well with rest, care, and patience." Sophia's heart beat faster when she heard the word. She had heard it before but did not fully understand it. "Am I in danger?" she asked quietly, her eyes filling with tears. The doctor knelt beside her. "No, Sophia. You are safe. You just need rest, medicine, and love. Your body is strong." Even though the doctor spoke kindly, Sophia felt scared. She looked at her mother, then at Clover. "Will I be alone?" she whispered. Queen Miranda took her hands gently. "You will never be alone," she said. "We may stay a little apart for safety, but our love stays close." Sophia was moved to her room and given warm soup, water, and soft blankets. She lay in bed, watching the light move across the walls. The castle felt too quiet. Amber waved at her from the doorway, sending her a heart with her hands. Clover stayed in the room, sitting at the foot of the bed. Sophia felt tears roll down her cheeks. "I didn't want this," she whispered. "I just wanted to play." Clover hopped closer. "It's okay to feel sad," he said gently. "Being sick is not your fault." As the day went on, Sophia felt weak but comforted by the soft voice of her mother reading stories outside the room. She closed her eyes, listening. She realized something important. Even when you are sick, love can still reach you. That night, Sophia looked at the stars through her window. She held her blanket tight and whispered to herself, "I will be brave. I will rest. I will get better." Though her body was sick, her heart was strong. This was the beginning of a difficult time, but also the beginning of a lesson about patience, care, and hope. The next morning, Sophia woke up slowly. Her eyes felt heavy, and her body still felt warm. She moved a little under the blanket and sighed softly. The room was quiet, much quieter than usual. Normally, she would hear footsteps, laughter, and Clover hopping around happily. But today, everything felt calm and careful. Clover was sitting near the window, looking outside. When he heard Sophia move, he turned around quickly. "Good morning, Sophia," he said softly, hopping closer. "How do you feel today?" Sophia thought for a moment. "I still feel tired," she replied honestly. "My head hurts a little, and my throat is sore." Clover nodded kindly. "That's okay. The doctor said healing takes time." Soon, A maid gently knocked and left a tray outside the door. Clover carefully brought it inside. There was warm soup, fresh juice, and a small bowl of fruit. Sophia smiled a little. "Mama always makes sure I eat," she said. Clover smiled too. "That's because she loves you very, very much." Sophia sat up slowly and sipped the soup. It felt warm and comforting. Even though she did not feel very hungry, she knew she needed strength. As she ate, she looked around her room. Everything was the same: her books, her toys, her dresses, but it felt different without people near her. A little while later, Queen Miranda came to the door. She did not enter, but she smiled warmly at Sophia. "How is my brave girl today?" she asked gently. Sophia smiled back. "I'm okay, Mama. Just tired." The Queen nodded. "That's expected. Rest is very important now." She held up a book. "Would you like me to read to you from here?" Sophia nodded quickly. Hearing her mother's voice always made her feel safe. As Queen Miranda read, Sophia closed her eyes. The story carried her away, far from sickness and worry. She imagined sunny gardens and happy adventures. Clover sat quietly beside her, listening too. For a moment, everything felt peaceful. Later in the day, Sophia began to feel lonely. She missed hugging her mother. She missed playing with Amber and running through the halls of the castle. She even missed her lessons. She stared at the ceiling and whispered, "I wish this would end soon." Clover heard her and hopped onto her pillow. "It will, Sophia," he said gently. "Your body is working hard to fight the sickness. You just can't see it." Sophia looked at him. "But what if it takes a long time?" she asked. Clover smiled softly. "Then we take it one day at a time." In the afternoon, the royal doctor returned to check on her. He spoke kindly and gently, explaining everything in simple words. "Your fever is still there, but that's okay," he said. "Your lungs sound clear, and that's good news." Sophia felt a little relieved hearing that. "So, I'm getting better?" she asked. "Slowly, yes," the doctor replied with a smile. Amber stood outside the door again. She held up a drawing she had made for Sophia. It showed the two of them holding hands in the garden. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "She made that for me," she whispered. Clover nodded. "She misses you." Sophia waved at Amber through the door, pressing her hand against the glass. Amber smiled and waved back. As evening came, Sophia started coughing a little. It scared her. She remembered the word corona and felt her heart beat faster. Clover stayed close, and soon Queen Miranda spoke calmly through the door. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said. "Take slow breaths. You're safe." Sophia did as she was told, and slowly, the coughing stopped. That night, Sophia had trouble sleeping. Her body felt uncomfortable and her thoughts were busy. "What if I get worse?" she whispered. Clover hopped onto her chest gently. "Being scared is normal," he said. "But remember what the doctor said. Children like you recover well." Sophia nodded slowly. She thought about how many people cared about her: her mother, her father, Amber, Clover, and even the servants who brought her food so gently. She realized she was not truly alone. Before sleeping, she whispered a small prayer. Not just for herself, but for everyone else who might be sick too. "Please help us all get better," she said quietly. That night, Sophia dreamed of walking in the garden again. She was slow but strong. The sun was warm, and she felt light. When she woke up the next morning, she still felt weak, but something was different. She felt a tiny bit hopeful. She smiled softly and said to Clover, "Maybe today will be a little better." And for the first time since getting sick, she truly believed it. The next few days were the hardest for Sophia. Even though she tried to stay hopeful, her body still felt weak. Some mornings she woke up feeling a little better, but by afternoon she felt tired again. Her throat hurt, her head felt heavy, and sometimes her chest felt tight. She missed running, laughing, and playing freely through the castle halls. Clover stayed with her all the time. He slept near her pillow and woke up whenever Sophia moved. One morning, Sophia slowly sat up and looked around the room. "Clover," she said softly, "I feel tired of being tired." Clover looked at her with kind eyes. "I know," he said. Healing can be boring and hard. But every quiet moment helps your body grow stronger. Sophia nodded, but she still felt sad. She looked toward the door, hoping someone would come inside. Queen Miranda stood outside and spoke gently, asking how she felt. Sophia smiled weakly and answered honestly. "I'm still sick, Mama." The Queen's voice stayed calm and loving. "That's okay, my love. Healing is not fast, but it is happening." Later that day, Sophia felt lonely. The castle sounds were far away, and the quiet made her think too much. She wondered if things would ever feel normal again. "What if I never feel the same?" she whispered. Clover hopped closer and placed a paw over her hand. "You will," he said. "Your strength is just resting right now." Amber came to the door again, holding another drawing. This time, it showed Sophia wearing a crown and smiling brightly. "She thinks that's the real you," Clover said. Sophia smiled softly and felt warmth in her heart. Even from far away, Amber believed in her. In the afternoon, the doctor visited again. Sophia felt nervous every time she saw him, but his voice was always gentle. He checked her temperature and listened to her breathing. "Your fever is not as high today," he said, smiling. "That is a good sign." Sophia felt a small spark of hope. "So I am getting better?" she asked. "Yes," the doctor answered. "Slowly but surely." That evening, Sophia felt very emotional. Tears came without warning. She cried because she missed hugs, because she felt scared, and because she was tired of being patient. Clover stayed quiet and let her cry. When she calmed down, he said softly, "Crying does not mean you are weak." Sophia looked at him and nodded. "I just want to feel normal again." That night, Sophia had a bad dream. She dreamed she was trying to run, but her legs would not move. She woke up breathing fast, her heart beating loudly. Clover quickly climbed onto her chest. "It's okay, Sophia," he said gently. "You're safe. Breathe slowly." Sophia followed his voice, one breath at a time, until she felt calm again. The next morning, Sophia felt very tired but noticed something new. She could breathe a little easier. It was a small change, but it mattered. She smiled softly and whispered, "Maybe my body is winning." Clover smiled proudly. "I told you it was trying hard." Queen Miranda sent a message with a soft scarf that smelled like roses. Sophia held it close, feeling comforted. The Queen's voice came through the door again. "Remember, Sophia, even when we are apart, love is always close." Sophia held the scarf tightly and felt strong again. During the day, Sophia began doing small things to help herself heal. She sat up for short moments, drank water slowly, and listened carefully to her body. She did not rush. She remembered what the doctor said: patience was part of healing. In the afternoon, she looked out the window for a long time. The garden was bright and green. Birds flew freely, and flowers moved in the wind. She whispered, "I'll be there again." Clover nodded. "And when you are, you will enjoy it even more." By evening, Sophia felt tired but proud. She had made it through another difficult day. She had not given up. She had rested, cried, hoped, and stayed brave. Queen Miranda told her a story from the doorway, and Sophia listened with calm eyes. Before sleeping, Sophia whispered to herself, "I am healing even if I can't see it all." She believed it more than before. That night, she slept deeper than she had in days. Her breathing was calm, her body relaxed. Clover stayed close, guarding her dreams. Slowly, quietly, Sophia's strength was returning, one patient moment at a time. Sophia woke up feeling a little stronger than the day before, though she was still wrapped tightly in her soft blanket. The morning sun streamed through her window, making the room warm and bright. She stretched her arms carefully and took a deep breath. Clover hopped onto the bed beside her, nuzzling her hand gently. "Good morning, Sophia. You look a little better today," he said softly. Sophia smiled weakly, but it was a real smile this time. "Yes, Clover. I feel a tiny bit stronger," she whispered, feeling hope bloom in her chest. Queen Miranda came in quietly with a tray of warm soup, fruit, and a glass of juice. "Good morning, my brave princess," she said softly, placing the tray beside Sophia. "Your body is healing, and every small step counts. Take your time, rest, and enjoy your breakfast. Sophia took a small sip of juice and a spoonful of soup, savoring the warmth. Even though she was not fully recovered, she felt comforted by the familiar flavors and the care of her mother. Clover cheered quietly, happy to see Sophia eating and feeling a little more like herself. The royal doctor came again to check on Sophia. He spoke gently, his voice calm and soothing. "Sophia, your temperature is lower and your cough is lighter," he said. "Your body is strong and healing. Keep resting, drinking fluids, and eating well. Soon, you will be able to move around and play again." Sophia listened carefully, feeling reassured. She realized that her body was doing exactly what it needed to do, fighting the virus. Though she was still weak, the knowledge that she was getting stronger gave her courage and hope. As Sophia rested in bed, Amber appeared at the doorway once more. She made small heart gestures and waved, smiling brightly. Sophia's heart felt warm seeing her sister's gentle encouragement. "I miss playing with you, Amber," Sophia whispered softly. Amber nodded, sending another heart. "Soon, Sophia. When you're stronger, we will run through the garden and play with Clover again. Until then, we will stay connected in our hearts," she said kindly. Sophia realized that even if she couldn't see Amber closely, their love could still be shared in small ways. The morning passed quietly, with Sophia resting and listening to her mother's stories. Queen Miranda read tales of magical kingdoms, brave princesses, and helpful animals. Sophia imagined herself in those stories, facing challenges with courage and learning lessons about patience and kindness. Clover stayed near her, offering playful nudges and comforting gestures. Sophia understood that even though she was sick, she was not alone. Love, care, and attention surrounded her, helping her feel safe and brave. By midday, Sophia's strength had improved slightly. She was able to sit up in bed and even move a little toward the window, enjoying the sunlight. The warm light made the room feel cheerful, and Sophia noticed the birds singing outside. She smiled faintly, feeling a gentle happiness despite her lingering weakness. Clover hopped onto the windowsill beside her, pointing to a bird perched nearby. "Look, Sophia. It's singing for you," he said softly. Sophia laughed lightly, the sound filling the room with warmth. Even a small joy felt enormous to her after days of illness. Queen Miranda helped Sophia stretch carefully, moving her arms and legs gently. "Sophia, this will help your body stay strong and improve your energy," her mother explained. Sophia followed her mother's guidance, feeling her muscles loosen slightly. She realized that healing was not just about resting, it was also about gentle care and small movements to keep the body active. Clover stayed close, making playful sounds to encourage her. Sophia felt a spark of excitement, knowing that each day brought her closer to feeling completely healthy again. The afternoon brought a new sense of determination to Sophia. She began imagining all the things she would do once she recovered. Running through the royal garden, climbing the tallest trees, playing with Amber, and caring for the animals in the castle stables filled her mind. Thinking of these joyful moments lifted her spirits and motivated her to rest carefully so she could regain her energy. Clover hopped around her bed, offering little toys and comforting gestures, reinforcing Sophia's growing hope and courage. As evening approached, Sophia felt her body tired but her heart stronger. Queen Miranda stayed close, reading stories and softly humming gentle tunes to soothe her. Amber continued sending hearts from the doorway, reminding Sophia of love and connection. Clover snuggled beside her, providing warmth and companionship. Sophia realized that even when the body was weak, the heart could feel strong with love and care. She understood that healing was not just physical, it was emotional and spiritual as well. Sophia sneezed softly, and her mother handed her a tissue. "Bless you, Sophia," Queen Miranda said kindly. "Your body is healing beautifully. Soon, you will be running and playing again." Sophia nodded, feeling the truth in her mother's words. She hugged Clover tightly and whispered, "I can be patient. I will get better soon." Clover blinked happily, sensing her growing strength and courage. Sophia felt comforted, knowing that even though illness had slowed her down, it had also taught her the value of patience, hope, and care. That night, as Sophia looked out of her window at the stars twinkling in the sky, she felt a quiet happiness. The stars reminded her that even when she felt trapped in her room, the world outside continued to shine and hold beauty. She held her blanket tightly and whispered softly, "I am strong. I'm brave. I will get better." Clover hopped onto her bed, snuggling close, and Amber sent a final heart from the doorway. Sophia drifted to sleep feeling safe, loved, and hopeful for the days ahead. Over the next few days, Sophia continued to heal slowly but steadily. Her energy returned, her cough lessened, and her body felt stronger each morning. She realized that even though being sick with corona had been difficult and scary, it had taught her important lessons. Patience, courage, care, and hope were now part of her heart. She knew that illness could challenge anyone, but love and support made even the hardest times bearable. By the end of the week, Sophia felt almost fully recovered. She could sit comfortably, enjoy small walks around her room, and even smile brightly at Clover and Amber. She reflected on her journey, the days of rest, the stories, the comforting presence of her family, and the small joys that kept her spirits high. Sophia understood that being sick was not a punishment but an opportunity to appreciate care, love, and patience. She felt ready to embrace life again with renewed energy and hope. Sophia whispered softly to herself, hugging Clover tightly, "I will never forget this lesson. Even when things are hard, love, care, and patience will always guide me." Clover nuzzled her hand, and Sophia felt a warm, comforting strength fill her heart. She knew that she had grown stronger not only in her body but also in her heart and mind. The experience had been challenging, but it had also made her braver, wiser, and more grateful. The next morning, Sophia woke up feeling much stronger than she had in the past week. The heavy feeling in her head was gone, her body no longer ached, and her energy had returned. She stretched carefully and felt the warmth of her soft blanket around her. Clover hopped onto the bed immediately, nuzzling her hand gently. "Good morning, Sophia. You look so much better today," he said excitedly. Sophia smiled fully for the first time in days. "I feel much better, Clover. I think I can get up soon," she whispered. Clover clapped his tiny hands with joy, happy to see his friend recovering. Queen Miranda entered the room quietly, carrying a small tray of breakfast with warm tea, fresh fruit, and a few light pastries. "Good morning, my brave princess," she said softly. "Your strength is returning. Today, you can take slow steps toward feeling completely well." Sophia felt grateful for her mother's gentle care. She sipped her tea and ate a little of the fruit, feeling the warmth spread through her body. Clover cheered quietly, and Sophia giggled at his excitement. Even though the sickness had been scary, the love from her family had made everything easier. The royal doctor visited again, smiling kindly behind his mask. "Sophia, your body is strong now, and you are almost fully recovered," he said. "Continue to rest, eat nutritious food, and drink plenty of fluids. Soon, you will be running and playing again." Sophia felt a wave of relief. She realized that all the patience and care had paid off. She had learned the importance of listening to her body, resting when needed, and trusting those who loved and cared for her. After breakfast, Sophia carefully got out of bed with Queen Miranda's help. Her legs felt strong again, and she could walk slowly around the room. Clover hopped beside her, cheering her on, and Amber peeked into the room with a bright smile and sent a heart. Sophia felt tears of joy in her eyes. "I missed walking, Amber. I missed playing and running," she whispered. Amber smiled warmly. "Soon, Sophia, we will run in the garden and play just like before," she said. Sophia hugged Clover tightly and waved at Amber, feeling the love of her family surround her. Sophia spent the morning gently moving around her room, stretching and regaining strength. Queen Miranda guided her carefully, showing her how to do small exercises to make her muscles stronger after the days of being sick. Clover stayed nearby, offering encouragement and playful nudges. Sophia realized that recovery was not just about being free of illness, it was also about slowly rebuilding strength and energy. She was proud of herself for being patient and brave throughout the process. By midday, Sophia felt confident enough to step into the garden with her mother and Clover. The sun was bright, the flowers bloomed beautifully, and birds sang joyfully in the trees. Sophia took a deep breath of fresh air, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face. She walked carefully at first, holding her mother's hand, and Clover hopped happily beside her. "It feels so good to be outside again," Sophia said softly. Queen Miranda smiled. "The world is waiting for you, Sophia. You've been brave, and now it's time to enjoy it safely." Amber joined them in the garden, running to Sophia and hugging her tightly. "You're back. I've missed you so much," she exclaimed. Sophia smiled and hugged her sister in return. Clover bounced excitedly, happy to see the sisters together again. Sophia felt a deep sense of happiness and relief. She realized that being sick had been difficult, but the love of her family had made her feel safe and strong. She also understood how important it was to be patient, rest, and follow guidance when her body needed care. Throughout the afternoon, Sophia walked slowly around the garden, enjoying the colors of the flowers, the soft rustle of the leaves, and the gentle warmth of the sun. Clover hopped along, Amber laughed beside her, and Queen Miranda watched lovingly, offering gentle encouragement. Sophia felt her strength returning with every step. She realized that health and patience were connected. Caring for her body and taking the time to rest had brought her back to this moment of joy and freedom. As the sun began to set, Sophia and her family sat under a large tree, enjoying the quiet beauty of the evening. Sophia held Clover in her lap and looked at Amber, who was placing small flowers in the grass. "I learned so much while I was sick," Sophia said softly. "I learned to be patient, to take care of myself, and to trust that love can reach me even when I'm apart from others." Queen Miranda smiled and nodded. "Yes, Sophia. Illness can teach us lessons, and your bravery and patience have made you stronger in both body and heart." Sophia spent the night reflecting on her experience. She realized that even though being sick with corona had been difficult and scary, it had taught her courage, hope, and the importance of love and care. She hugged Clover tightly, feeling grateful for his presence and support, and sent a silent message to Amber, thanking her for staying connected even when they had to be apart. Sophia felt her heart full of warmth and peace, knowing that love could bridge any distance. By the next morning, Sophia was fully recovered. She ran through the garden, laughed with Amber, and played freely with Clover. The castle seemed brighter and more beautiful than ever before. Sophia realized that her journey through illness had taught her patience, strength, and gratitude. She understood that health was a gift, and that being brave sometimes meant resting and allowing her body to heal. She smiled brightly at her mother and sister, feeling whole, happy, and stronger than she had ever been. Sophia whispered softly to herself as she skipped across the garden, "I will always remember this lesson. Even when things are hard, love, care, and patience will guide me. I am brave and I am strong." Clover hopped joyfully beside her, Amber laughed happily, and Queen Miranda watched with pride. Sophia had not only recovered from her illness, but she had grown in courage, patience, and understanding. She had learned that difficult times could teach valuable lessons, and that love and care were always powerful tools for healing. From that day on, Sophia approached every day with renewed energy, a grateful heart, and a strong sense of courage. She played in the gardens, cared for her friends, and shared her story with others, showing that even illness could be overcome with patience, love, and determination. Sophia knew that the memory of her illness would remain with her, reminding her always of the strength inside her and the love that surrounded her. She felt ready for any adventure, knowing that courage and care could carry her through anything.